Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing good. So today I'm going to be unboxing the Double Dip mystery box for October, and you guys are going to hate me, but this box is actually not available at the moment because they're getting ready for the one for November. I received mine kind of late, so if you are interested in any of these products, I'll actually be linking them individually. You can use my discount code to get some of them, or just get the one for November. But yeah, it's like a little Halloween themed box. I love the little stickers. I think that's so cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox like everything in here before the tutorial today. So the first thing is a set of stickers. These actually glow in the dark and they're all white. So my camera is actually not picking up because the light is too bright, but you'll see them later on in the video because I'll be using them. There's also another set of stickers in here. These are just like regular Halloween themed. They don't glow in the dark, but they're really cute. They have little pumpkins and bats and stuff like that on them. There's also a little baggie in here with some swatch sticks. I like how they give you swatch sticks so you can swatch the colors that come in the box. And then there's also a set of 5 dotting tools that are dual-ended with a little diamond design on them. And then there's 2 cat eye magnets. This is one of them, and then here is the other one. This one is dual-ended. And then there's also a full-size Bellavina cat eye gel polish in here. It's 15 milliliter. It actually looks like it was almost green inside of the bottle, but when you swatch it, it's more of like a gray color. It's really pretty. I'll actually be swatching all the colors for you in a few. You can wear this one alone or as like a cat eye. Then there's also this really pretty, gorgeous like 12 color glitter set. They're like holographic glitters. At first I thought they were chrome powders, but then when I opened one up, you could definitely tell it's like a loose fine glitter. Like I literally got it all over my hand. But yeah, I love the colors. I definitely want to use these in another video, so I'm just gonna dust that off really quick. But there's also 3 dip powders in here. You can use these as dip powder or acrylic. They're actually 2 in 1. One is called Oogie Boogie, then there's a mystery color, and then there's also an orange one called Jack-o'-lantern. And they do come sealed. But yeah, I love their powders because you can use them as dip powder or acrylic. I'll be using mine as dip powder because I didn't have any monomer. And there is some applicators for the glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and start swatching the cat eye gel polish first. You basically want to apply a white or black base down first, then apply the cat eye color and hold the magnet over it for 10 seconds and then cure. Now I'm going to swatch the mystery color. I do already have a set of dipping liquids from Double Dip, so I'm going in with the base. The base is basically like the glue for the powder to stick to, so you want to apply it to your entire nail and dip it in the jar and then wait like a minute before you go in with a second layer. It's recommended you do like 2 to 3 layers. So that other color was Oogie Boogie, and then this one is called Jack-o'-lantern. And I did a second coat off camera, accidentally hit the orange one, so I'm gonna have to follow that. But I'm going in with the activator now, and that's gonna harden the product. And after that dries, you're gonna want to apply a top coat and wait a minute or 2 before you go in with a second layer. You have to apply 2 layers of the top coat. I will link this dipping liquid set down below, but as you can see, I had a little bump on the orange one, so I'm gonna file it down so you guys can actually see the color better. But I really do like these colors. This is a perfect fall shade, and this is actually what they all look like, top coated and everything. So if you guys are interested in any of these colors, definitely check the description box. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. I did prep my nails off camera, and I'm going to be using a dip powder tray today since I like to wear longer nails. It's easier to use a dip powder tray when you're doing dip powder nails on long nails. So I'm going in with my dehydrator and primer. I'm using Bellavina dehydrator and primer. I'll have this linked below if you're interested. It's actually from Double Dip as well. But before you even go in with your colored powders, you want to go in with a clear base. This is basically going to protect your natural nails from like the staining from the color, and also does give you a little more thickness to your nails as well. So you always want to go in with a clear base first when you're doing dip powder, and then last as well. And for every 3 layers you want to apply an activator. just to harden the product. You never want to keep like layering the product over and over again, because then the powder won't dry all the way through and it'll be like still kind of gummy on the inside. So yeah, it will be like a big mess. So you definitely want to do that. So basically I apply the base to my entire nail. Remember, the base is like the glue for the powder, so wherever you apply that base, the powder is gonna go. So don't apply it on your cuticles if you can try not to. I know sometimes it's hard, but if you do, just try to wipe it off really quick, because yeah, it will get stuck on there. So you want to evenly coat it and get it really nice and neat around the cuticle, kind of like you're just painting your nails. And you got to work pretty fast and pour the powder over your nail, kind of rotate your nail side to side to make sure all angles of it are covered. So I'm going to go ahead and put this clear back in the jar, and I'm going to be using the color Oogie Boogie today because I thought it was really cute and it kind of went with the thought that I had in my head. I wanted to do a set with like Jack Skellington on it. Like I wanted to paint him and then like use some of the stickers that came with the box to kind of like complete the set. So I just wanted like to do the solid black glitter because I thought it would be really pretty as a background for the nail art. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and dust my nails off. You want to wait a minute to dust your nails off in between each layer, by the way. So I'm gonna apply the base to my entire nail, and then I just kind of like dump the powder on my nail and kind of rotate my nail side to side and like tap off the excess. But remember, don't dust the nails off until after a minute, just to give the powder, you know, time to set onto there. And as you can see, when I applied the first layer, the glitter didn't really show up that good. And I think part of the reason is because I'm like pouring it on top of the nail. I think you get more like color payoff with these glittery shades, especially if you were to like dip your nail directly into the jar. But obviously I can't do that because the fact that my nails are so long. So I did kind of like go in with 2 layers, and it still was giving me like the same effect. So eventually I decided that I was just going to kind of like pour the powder like directly on the top of the dip powder tray and kind of like press my nail into it, and that ended up working out better, which you'll see in a minute. Okay, so here's where I decided to go in with a second layer. As you can see, there's barely like any glitter on the nails right now. Like there's a lot of chunky glitters in this dip powder color, but I just wasn't getting that like doing it this way. I'm not sure why, but I'm assuming because like, you know, the glitters in here are so chunky, it just wasn't like gripping onto the base. I feel like it's more of like a thing where you need to press your nail into it. So yeah, I totally got the same effect when I went in with the second layer. So when I get to the pinky, I kind of decided to just press my nail into it. Like I applied the base onto my nail and then just like press my nail like into the powder. And that just worked out like a whole lot better. I'm not going to be applying the activator just yet because I didn't really get anything on the nails, barely. Like there's literally no product. So I'm going to go in with like 2 more layers after this and then apply the activator. But yeah, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about after I'm done with this nail. Like you'll see how much like more glitter gets on the nail when you do it the other way. It's just like that with glittery dip powders. I feel like you have to do it that way. With the solid colors, I don't really have that issue because you could just pour it on your nail and like you'll get like an all even coat. But yeah, now I'm gonna apply the base to this entire nail on the pinky, and then I did pour the dip powder actually all in the top of the tray, and I'm just going to kind of like slide my nail in there and hold it for like a minute As you can see, so much more glitter. So I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere now. So now I'm basically just gonna do the same thing for like all the nails and do like a couple layers. But there is one thing that I had an issue with. Like, I had trouble getting the sidewalls. They weren't really getting covered because I don't know, I guess I should have like rotated my nail a little bit better, but I didn't really have enough time. So I actually do end up going in and fixing the sidewalls a little bit later on. So like I said, I'm going to go in with the base again on the sidewalls, just because the sidewalls weren't really getting covered because of the way I had to dip my nail into the powder. So I'm just going over those like areas that are missing the powder with the base, and I'm kind of just dipping my nail in there. And when you're doing dip powders with glitter, you want to press the glitters down too as well, because sometimes they do stick up like after you take your nail out of the powder. So you definitely want them to lay flat, because the reason we go in with a layer of clear is because you want to encapsulate them. So you definitely don't want any glitters poking up. You don't want to file through them, so you have to go over them with a layer of clear. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just like going right over those areas and then just dipping my nail to the side, and it fills in those areas right there rather than going in with more and more layers. I feel like these nails could have been a little bit thicker even after I applied the clear, but you guys know I don't keep my nails on long, so I didn't want to waste my clear like going in with like multiple layers if I'm not going to keep them on long. But you could go in with like 2 more layers of clear if you were doing this on longer nails. I would have preferred to use these like as regular acrylic, like these powders, but like I said, I didn't have any monomer and I'm still waiting on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply the activator to all the nails. Like I said earlier, the activator will harden the product. You definitely want to apply this every few layers to avoid like the nail not drying properly, because it will be like gummy on the inside. So definitely apply it. And wait a couple minutes before you go in with the clear, because if you apply the base directly onto your nails after applying the activator, all the base is going to do is harden and dry, and then you'll have like patches of powder on your nails, because like it kind of causes it to dry fast, if that makes sense. So yeah, now I'm going in with the base on all of the nails. These are dry now, so I'm going in with the base, and I'm just going to be pouring the clear right over the glitter. I'm only going in with one layer. If you wanted them to be a little bit thicker, you can go in with another layer. But yeah, you just apply the base to the entire nail, and then just dump the clear powder over it, rotating your nail to make sure that all sides get covered to encapsulate. And you would want to encapsulate the regular colors as well, because when you file, the colors will get patchy if they're not encapsulated with dip powder. And now I'm going in with one last layer of the activator to harden that clear before I file. You can also use regular clear acrylic as well if you wanted to. You don't have to use just like, you know, the clear dip powder base. Acrylic and dip powder is basically the same. The only difference is dip powder is a little bit thinner, and then regular acrylic is a little bit thicker for your nails, but both of them can be used as dip powder if you were ever like wondering about that. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and start filing up the nails. As you can see, these definitely do need some shaping up, like they're a little, you know, bumpy and stuff like that, and like some of the glitters off to the side, they just need to be like shaped up really nicely. But that's what filing is for. They're not too bad actually. Like I said, I would prefer like a little bit more of an apex. So to get that, I would have went in with one extra layer of clear, but like I said, I'm not keeping these on long, so I'm not even gonna waste my time doing that. But anyways, I'm using a medium grit safety bit to debulk right now. Basically just going around the cuticle and smoothing over the whole nail, and definitely filing along the sides and underneath the nail just to make sure everything, you know, is like nice and smooth. I definitely had to file the side walls a lot. They were just like kind of like bumpy and stuff like that. And I did kind of file the free edge a little bit lower to, you know, kind of give the illusion that there was some more of like an apex. Next, I'm going to take my cuticle bit and just go around the cuticle area to clean up around that area. It wasn't actually too bad around the cuticle area. There was just like a few glitters that were like kind of poking up that were kind of weird that I had to file off. But other than that, the cuticle area was pretty neat. And after I went in with the cuticle bit, it just like was perfect. Like I didn't really have any issues. I probably could have got it a little bit closer to the cuticle area, but I'm not mad at it. Like I feel like I did a pretty good job judging the fact that, you know, of all the like obstacles I had to go through with this dip powder. And now I'm going to go ahead and shape up the nails. I'm using a 100 grit nail file. So right now I'm filing straight with my hand file to kind of take some of the bulk off of the side walls. And then I will angle my file in and kind of like taper the tip in. And you want to file like on each side like a few times until you're satisfied. I do go over the surface of the nails to kind of file along the side walls just to make the nails like a little more narrow, to give it a more flattering shape. And I did actually have to file a little bit of the dip powder that got stuck on my cuticle on the pinky, so it did turn like a little bit red after doing that, but it was like stuck there and I had to get it off, and I couldn't get it off with my cuticle bit. But yeah, other than that, I think everything else came out really good. To file the free edge, you want to hold your hand file at an angle and file straight across, or you can hold it at an angle and file up and down. And after I file the nails, I do buff out the scratches before I do the nail art and stuff.
Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone. Yeah, I don't wanna put no pressure on you. I just wanna put a blessing on you. Since our last undressing session, I'm not really sure if you've been checking. I'm progressing. I just heard my songs is popping out in Macedonia and even Serbia. I don't mean to burden you. If you got a man since then, I understand. Last thing I wanna do is get you jammed, especially if he's the fan. He probably never wanna hear my shit again. And I need every single sound scan. But if you single and you down, then I'm in your town feeling for another round. I was counting down the days, been more patient than a Browns fan. Where that chip at? Probably on your shoulder, cause I forgot to hit back. Left you on red, apologies are said, but often never meant. Well, fuck that, I repent for message never sent now.
Hello, stranger, it's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. And usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option due to unusual rain and thunder, baby, I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. 'Cause I got the plug, I made the call for green. I'm talking late night fire. Let me live a good time, don't hesitate, no, don't you?
So moving on to the nail art, I'm going to start by drawing the Jack Skellington head. I'm using the McCart Blanc gel polish set. I'm like obsessed with this gel polish set. But yeah, you want to start by drawing the head. It's like a circle, and you kind of just draw the circle and fill it in and kind of like tighten up the lines. I always start by drawing the shapes like I told you guys in my last video, and it kind of like brings the design together. So the head is like a circle, so you draw that and then like cure in your lamp. I'm using my detail brush in the number 3, by the way. These are linked in my Amazon store. Then next you're going to want to start drawing the eyes, which are like 2 little ovals going in the opposite directions. I'm using the black for this, and if you use the tip of your brush you can get like thinner lines, I guess. And then for the nose, it's like 2 little dots, and you kind of just fill them in, really small dots. And then for the smile, it's kind of like a half circle, I guess, if you were going to like draw the top of a half circle and fill it in. But that mouth came out like way too thick. Like, what is that? So I had to go in and clean it up with some acetone because it wasn't looking right. And then I'm just going to draw like the stitches for the mouth. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's so easy to draw this little guy. I think I was just making it more difficult than it needed to be, but yeah, it's really, really easy. And to finish everything up, I'm going to be using those glow-in-the-dark stickers that came with the box, and I'm also using some 4-point star stickers that I already have, and I'm just placing those on the nail. I'm using tweezers and making sure to smooth them out with my fingers so that they're not popping up when I top coat. But I felt like these went really good with this set, kind of gave that Nightmare Before Christmas vibe, just like in a different way with like the trees and the stars and the moons and everything. And then the little Halloween sticker, I think it all came together. And actually did top coat the nails off camera and apply some black rhinestones into the gel, and this is the finished look. I guess I wasn't recording, but yeah, I do this in every video. But yeah, I hope you guys like this set. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're new to the channel, I would love it if you subscribe. I post nail tutorials and reviews every week. You definitely don't want to miss out. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Love you guys.